Some choices are hard, like should you choose McDonald's Buttermilk Crispy Tenders or the Buttermilk Crispy Chicken in our signature crafted recipe sandwiches? Well, guess what? You can't make a wrong choice. It's Buttermilk Love, and that's good news. Speaking of good news, now you can get McDonald's 2-piece Buttermilk Crispy Tenders for just $2 from their $1, $2, $3 menu. Cannot be combined with other offer or combo meal. Prices and participation may vary.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio in high fidelity.
Divine, all blessed, peace and love, revelation and manifestation. May the ancestors be praised. You are now listening live and always in archive at your leisure and convenience to the Divine Prince, Pan-African Spiritualist, Practitioner, author, and advisor, Elagun Oboye Hoodoo Obeya Bokur, sharing with you in all things spiritual, mystical, metaphysical, cosmic, evolutionary, revolutionary, universal, healing, and holistic from a Pan-African Hoodoo world spiritualist perspective, understanding that all is truly and indeed a blessing if you can just see beyond the veil, for it is all just an illusion and a test and one of the greatest divine mysteries of this life cycle. This is my constant prayer, my mantra, affirmation, reverberation, reiteration, and my ever-living reality. And it is crucial to the very foundation of my being, my walk, my works, my demonstration along this divine, all-blessed life path and journey. It is how I, the Divine Prince, make sense out of all that we are challenged with here in our daily existence on Mother, Father Earth. And it is my personal place of power and understanding, that place from where I begin, that place from where I realize and crystallize all my endeavors, understanding that I and I alone create and co-create my divine all-blessed reality, that I and I create and co-create my divine all-blessed. My apologies. Today, this Thursday, April 26, 2018, I am emanating and vibrating with you and for you live, virtually, verbally, cosmically, quantum universally from this working temple of the House of the Divine Prince, Thai Potions, Hoodoo Central, Black Hawk Voodoo, in this legendary, historic, and most enchanted city in America, New Orleans, Louisiana, the land of my ancestors and those who came before me along this spiritualist Hoodoo Obeya life path and journey, passing down the great Obeya stick, along with the knowledge of the healing, life-giving herbs, roots, plants, rituals, and minerals. I'm always humbled and honored and appreciative of those of you who continue to listen to me and join me here live at high noon U.S. Central Standard Time for the Power Lunch. Revolutionary Hoodoo, New Orleans Voodoo Secrets and Recipes here on Blog Talk Radio, and always in archive at your leisure and convenience at www.blogtalkradio.com, www.belikeblog.com/the-divine-prince. My listening and call-in number is area code 347-215-8967, 347-215-8967. When you're ready with your question, comment, or request, please do press the number 1 on your telephone keypad. I'll be more than happy to open your mic and bring you into the conversation. And, of course, I'm always available virtually 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year at www.houseofthedivineprince.com. All is truly and indeed a blessing. It is on a day like this, a day when we honor and acknowledge the power of iron and acknowledge and honor the power of the crossbow and acknowledge and honor the power of the great plow, that a living elder in our community comes to mind that, in my opinion, often doesn't get the coverage and the platform and the awareness at the grassroots level that she deserves, and that is Mama Zogbe, Chief Honan Amengase, Mama Zogbe. She has given a great deal of her life, her own story, her own journey, if you will, into the tradition, and taking that and giving it back to us in books, in archives and documentation that otherwise would not build us up as an African people born here in America. You've heard me say before that on the hierarchy of things, that somehow we've allowed white supremacy and we've allowed the storytellers of his story to sort of paint the African in America as somehow diluted, polluted, the furthest away from what's authentic, particularly when we speak about spirituality and religion, our tradition. We still believe, many of us, that we need Haiti, we need to go to Cuba, we need to go to Ghana, we need to go to Nigeria to somehow find ourselves. And we give great homage to our great-grandmothers and great forefathers who herald from those lands. But Mama Zogbe, in a way that it's sort of reminiscent to my message, my ministry, is that we empower ourselves through awareness of who we are. A myriad of misinformation and myths abound concerning the origins of voodoo. In the West, the first independent Black republic, Haiti, is typically credited by Western scholars of introducing voodoo religion to the Americas. This myth might survive historical scrutiny only if one completely disregards the fact that since the Africans' forced arrival in the Americas, was African-based voodoo communities in free Black townships were widespread, not only in the South, but all across the U.S. One must also ignore P. LaRosa's French Dictionary Universal, which defines voodoo religion as being imported into America by African slaves, still actively present as late as the 1900s. One might further accept the incredible notion that the more than 50 million Africans transported across the Atlantic directly onto America's shores arrived linguistically, spiritually, and culturally ignorant. That is, until they were spiritually civilized, if you will, by other enslaved Africans. Incidentally, were transported across the same ocean from the same or proximal geographical regions. This story is still believed today in 2018 by too many of our people. The truth is that prior to its active suppression in the U.S., enslaved Africans' spiritual systems of their ancestors and deities were actively remembered, but also suppressed under enslavement and white supremacy. So today, as we seek ancestral connection, we have modern technological advances like DNA and Ancestry.com and 23andMe that help us to fill in many of those missing bites of information, particularly as it relates to ethnicity. You've heard me say before that voodoo, ATR, those are very general terms for cultural traditions that are very family specific, very ethnically specifically. We give homage to Yoruba, but many of us may not be very much Yoruba at all, or might possess Yoruba blood, but might have larger portions of Iwe or Fan or Khan ethnicity in our DNA memory banks. So we now have not only the tools of the tradition of divination and ancestral worship, but also now the science and the new technology that allows us to explore at a deeper level who and what we are. When we look into the archives of our history, of our story, of our